The South Dakota High School Activities Association and their lead partner, Sanford Health, their financial partner, Dakota Bank, their community partner, Farmers Union Insurance, their military partner, South Dakota Army National Guard, and proud corporate sponsor, Billion Automotive, welcome you to tonight's game. High school sports are a privilege to play and a privilege to watch, a privilege that depends on good sportsmanship. We have a potential for a great game. Let's make it happen with your positive support. Tonight's AAA semifinal playoff game features our guests this evening, the 7th seed, the Warriors from Sioux Falls, Washington High School, against the 3 seed, the Brandon Valley Lynx. Introducing first the cheerleaders for Sioux Falls, Washington. Malia Doctor, Lexi Goldman, Selena Gonzalez, Ivy Kraft, Kayla Messner, Addie Matson, Campbell McKay, Lauren Mitchell, Megan Richardson, and Ella Wilson. Head coach Cindy Jones, assistant Allison Parsons. Now let's meet the defensive unit for the Warriors from Sioux Falls, Washington High School. At defensive end, number 34, a 5'10", 205-pound junior, Aaron Thomas. At one defensive tackle, number 55, a 6', 200-pound senior, Trevor Sagnas. At nose tackle, number 54, a 6', 215-pound senior, Ben Bartling. At linebacker, number 44, a 6', 180-pound sophomore, Patrick Osborne. At outside linebacker, number 52, a 6'2", 205-pound senior, Ben Peterson. At middle linebacker, number 4, a 6'2", 200-pound junior, Jaden Fettrell. At linebacker, number 33, a 6'3", 190-pound junior, Randolph Kapai. At cornerback, number 20, a 5'9", 175-pound sophomore, Matt Ageman. At the other cornerback, number 2, a 5'9", 175-pound senior, Freddie Frederick. At safety, number 13, a 6'1", 185-pound junior, Carson Strong. And at free safety, number 18, a 5'10", 170-pound senior, Wyatt Reitmeyer. Assistant coaches Jeff Fitzgerald, Ryan Evans, Larry Burkhart, Michael Frericks, Jason Stallman, Mark Murren, Rick Thomas, Ryan Slyman, Lance Siebenhaller, Jamison Clark, Tommy Hofer, Russ Johnson, and the head coach for the Warriors, Chad Statham. Now let's meet the cheerleaders for our Brandon Valley Lynx. Grace Hansen, Bailey Harvey, Helena Hendrick, Ashley Lohr, Madison Notes, Brittany Ryder, Lauren Ruhlman, and Emily Wint. Cheer coach, Katie Lane. Let's meet the offensive starters for your Brandon Valley Lynx. At tight end, number 15, a 5'11", 185-pound junior, Austin Vegans. At left guard, number 62, a 6', 240-pound senior, Brett Katie. At right tackle, number 72, a 6'4", 280-pound senior, Zach Rogo. At left tackle, number 67, 6'3", 250-pound senior, Jared Vanderbush. At right guard, number 53, a 6'2", 195-pound senior, J.T. Bieber. At center, number 71, a 6 foot, 250-pound senior, Zach Bennett. At wide receiver, number 3, a 5'11", 165-pound senior, Cole Silliason. At the other wideout, number 6, a 6'1", 180-pound senior, Ty McCann. At fullback, number 42, a 5'8", 200-pound junior, Luke Wickersham. At tailback, number 21, a 5'8", 165-pound junior, Tate Johnson. And at quarterback, number 10, 6'2", 190-pound senior, Thomas Skolton. Assistant coaches Ken Anderson, Jason Bisbee, Dylan Brees, Matt Christensen, Joe Kay, Justin Mashlin, Matt Mueller, Tim Silliason, and Mike Zur. Volunteer assistants Jeremy Risty, Darian Smith, and Mark Statham. Head coach for Brandon Valley, Chad Garrow. Ladies and gentlemen, the presentation of our colors are being performed tonight by the color guard members of the Brandon VFW Post 4726, Brandon American Legion Post 318, and Valley Springs American Legion Post 131. The privilege of this game is made possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedoms we enjoy. God bless our veterans and active military and all they do for our nation and our local communities. Will you please rise for the playing of our national anthem? Proper etiquette is to remove all headwear. Face the flag and put your hand over your heart. Active duty military personnel or veterans not in uniform may salute the flag. Playing our national anthem will be the Brandon Valley Trumpet Line under the direction of Emily Hensley. Ladies and gentlemen, please sing loud and proud, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you.
All right, Ken, we'll get to your keys to the game. I got one Kyle's key to the game here, and that's experience. Now, is every single player that played on that state championship Lynx team last year here? No, they're not, but a lot of them are. For Washington, out of the 22 starters on offense and defense, 6 sophomores and 9 juniors. This is a young Washington team. It's a talented team, and it's played better in the second half of the year. But the Lynx have to use this experience of being here before, and instead of, unlike last year, this year they have home field advantage. So I think that's going to be really important.
Well, it's a rematch. I mean, that's Washington's out to beat us. I mean, they got beat last year in the finals against Brandon Valley.
Almost got shut out here.
And that taste is never good walking into the next season. I don't care if they were the 7th seed. I don't care if we were the 3 seed. That's all thrown out the door. That doesn't even matter anymore. What it matters is what we're about to play on this field. And we've always said about the keys to the game, win up front. Win with that offensive line, win with that defensive line. Just keep on doing what you're good at. Don't get out of your skin. Do not what's led you here, you're a really good football team, and I'm talking about the Lynx, is running the ball. Play great defense. And Skolton, our quarterback, play action off of that. We know the recipe for Lynx winning.
Yep.
Okay? And we know, you just talked about how Washington is young. That's out the door too. These guys that you see in front of us right here on your picture, they don't care if they're sophomores and juniors. They see numbers.
Yeah.
And they see white, the white jerseys.
Yep.
And that's all they see. They don't care if they're a sophomore or a junior or a senior. It's about winning football. And at the end of the day, it comes to 2 teams that are really, really used to this type of football.
Yep, you're exactly right.
I talk about it's the Final Four, okay? It's the Final Four of AAA tonight, okay? You punch your ticket tonight. 2 teams will punch their ticket into the finals next week, and hopefully the Lynx are victorious and get to punch their ticket for the second time in a row like you talked about.
Well, the Lynx did not win the toss. Washington won the toss. They will kick off. They deferred to the second half. 8-3 Lynx, 5-6 Washington. State championship appearance on the line. Remember, it is not in Vermillion this year. It will be at Dyke House at SDSU. That's extremely exciting.
Going to be cold.
It's going to be cold. And beautiful weather tonight.
Oh, I was just going to say that. What great weather. I mean, you look at the flag, there's no wind. It is, 33 degrees or something like that, or whatever it is.
Perfect for the players.
It's just a great night for football.
And away we go. What hope will be a beautiful night of football for Brandon Valley. Here comes Tate Johnson, and he was stuck right near the 18-yard line, and that is where the Brandon Valley Lynx will begin with their leader, one of their captains, Tommy Skolton, 3rd year, senior. He's been here before, and as has much of the rest of this Lynx starting offense. And we'll see if they just start to pound the rock with Tate Johnson. They start out of the shotgun, in fact. Tommy throws it to Jackson Hilton, slips a tackle. He heads to the 30, 35, and he's out of bounds at the 40. Good way to start for the Lynx.
Well, play calling was great. So what they worked on all week, you can see, is that they knew that Washington's going to try to take away our run, and so they stacked the box there defensively, and we went with a pass right away. It's always say that you should run on first down. No, maybe pass on first down and open things up for your running game.
Washington brought a lot of pressure on that play. Now it's a 1 wide receiver set. They are going to hand it to their bull, Tate Johnson, and he is going to get about 4 yards on that one. He falls forward, and they give him a nice spot, too.
And this is when big players come to play on both sides. Who's going to shine tonight? You have really good players on that defensive side, and you have really good players on the offensive side. It's about who steps up tonight. Who, with this atmosphere, don't make it too big for yourself. Just play football.
And Washington student section getting loud on every play so far. Here is Johnson trying to push the pile, and he gets a nice gain as he keeps the legs churning like he always does, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2.
So offensive line doing work already. As you can see, Kyle, 2 runs in a row, picked up about 8 yards there. And 3rd down and 2, super manageable. We always talk about the full playbook is open. It's open right now in 3rd and 2.
Two wide receivers at the top of your screen. Wickersham, the fullback. They're going to play fake it. Tommy looking, throwing, incomplete. And it was behind Cole Siliuson. And it looks like the Lynx are going to stay on the field here. Tommy Skolton coming back onto the field, so they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Good defense by number 44, the linebacker for Washington. Let me get his name here. Patrick Osborne, the linebacker.
Pitch. Johnson gets the first down. They've ran that pitch on 4th down how many times this season, and it has worked almost to perfection.
And I forgot it was hurry up, and I was sitting here looking for a number, and all of a sudden the play called. But that's what we've seen all year from the Lynx is they have 3rd and short or 4th and short, and they just go hurry up right away, and I love it because it doesn't let the defense sub.
Wickersham checking out. We'll have a single back formation now. Siliuson at the bottom of your screen. Vegans now moves to the fullback. Fumbled snap. Thank goodness. Tommy fell on it. Live to fight another down.
Yep. Just relax. Like you said,
Talk
live to
about
fight
me or,
another
me or
down.
Tommy.
Well, he just needs to relax. Sometimes jitters will get to you. We don't know if it was a bad snap by the center. We just don't know. But it's everybody's fault. When there's a fumble like that, it's everybody's fault. Everybody come back together, bring up a good, manageable 2nd down, get some good yards here. Don't go for the home run. You don't need the home run. Keep on managing the game.
Carroll in at tight end with Vegans. Here is Jesse Steffel. Steffel breaks a tackle, heads right, out of bounds near the 25-yard line.
Well, we talked about it. Thunder and lightning. We didn't mention Jesse in the beginning of the game, but we know even with that semifinal game last year against O'Gorman, remember, he had a big day too. But in those finals, against Washington last year, he had another big day. Those two in the backfield are such a luxury to have.
Hilton back up top again. Wickersham and Johnson join Skolton, who's going to throw. He rolls, throws, and it is incomplete off the hands of Johnson.
Well, if you see on number 44, he's walking back. I'm talking for Washington.
Osborne.
He's spying. That's what I was getting to before the Lynx went hurry up on that last set of downs. And he's spying him, and he's not letting Thomas. Everybody's probably saying, Thomas, run, run, run. No, 44's spying him every time he rolls out, so it's hard for him to run.
Johnson spins away down to the 15, so a big 3rd down coming up.
As you can see, the secondary for Washington, they're flowing really well to to Skolton when he's rolling out to the right. Mm-hmm. Almost a backside pass where you bring your tight end and backside it because they're flowing so much. Backside it to the left, maybe that'd work.
3rd down and 3. 6 rushes so far for the Lynx, just 3 passes. Skolton gives it to Jesse Steffel. And, boy, I think he fell ahead, and I think he might have got it. It's going to be very, very
short
close.
By 1. It looks like it's short. This is going to be interesting as
Johnson comes back in.
You want to keep the momentum, and you want to put 6 on the board and potentially 7. And I like the aggressiveness by Coach Garrow. He's thinking about it.
Yeah, here comes Siliuson and McCann into the game. Hilton checks out. And so does Wickersham.
Watch the back judge as you look on your screen far, far right. He'll tell you when there's about 5 seconds to go. He'll raise his hand. There's 1.
And the Lynx are going to take a timeout.
That's a good timeout by the coaching staff. Just get it right. It's every drive's big, and when you come to these certain keys of the game, and especially in this first drive, take your timeout. That's what they're there. They're in your pocket for. Good call.
Leaders we can depend on. Question: when you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in South Dakota, who do you meet? Answer: men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports gives us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question: so where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer: high school sports. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
So big fourth down as the Lynx are going to go for it. Their offense coming back onto the field. Maybe try to draw them offside right away, go right up to the line, which they're doing.
4th and a long one on what has so far been a 4-minute opening drive. Vegans into the backfield. Play fake. Caught. Vegans inside the 10 and down to the 5-yard line. And we talked about Vegans all year, and he just sneaks wide open every single play. It's astounding.
It's so hard for a linebacker to cover a tight end because they're looking for the run. And you saw that play action. That's just a great call by the offensive staff for Brandon Valley. They're going to the line here. But play action to your tight end, linebackers sneak up, tight end pops open.
1st and goal from the 5. Johnson, right at the line of scrimmage. He got nothing.
Johnson on the carry.
And then he'll bring up a 2nd down.
Linebackers are flowing really, really well for Washington, you can see. And they've always been really, really good from the linebacker position in their history. You know, going back from, I know Nate Gary played a little bit of safety, but he also played a kind of a hybrid linebacker, and that's been a rich tradition for the Washington defense.
Carroll moves out to the top of your screen with Jackson Hilton in the slot. Here's Tate Johnson. Dives, touchdown, Brandon Valley Lynx. What an opening drive for the Lynx that takes 5 minutes off the clock, 2 4th-down conversions, and a touchdown for the Lynx. They lead at 6-0.
Mentally, that puts that's one notch in the mental game because the coaching staff trusted the offense and trusted the defense. If they did not get the first down, that they could put the defense back out there. That's just trusting your team from that coaching staff. Great job by the coaching staff to do what they just did and be aggressive.
Extra points. Yes. Sorensen knocks it through, and the Lynx lead it 7-0.
Your Lynx TV sponsors, Justin Oakland of Oakland Homes, Bill Thompson, your State Farm agent, Harry Buck with Hegg Realtors, Alliance Communications, the First National Bank of Brandon, the Pizza Ranch of Brandon, the Brandon Community Foundation, the Brandon Valley Journal, Brandon Taco John's, Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, the Brandon Valley Athletic Boosters Club, and Sioux Valley Energy.
13 plays, 82 yards, and obviously there's a ton of game left, but boy, to be Washington and give up that type of a drive to start the game, that's really tough. They need to answer here.
That's all. I'm telling you, I know the players play, but the coaching staff doesn't get as much credit as they should. That is just putting a notch, and I'm telling you right now, mentally in the game, because it's deflating to lose 2 4th downs and not get them and not make stops. And it's a huge boost to the Lynx team mentally and aggressively to pick up those 4th downs.
Bobbled on the kick return, and a return and tackling was Kobe Terpstra. And it was number 22, Michael Johnson, who's going to be starting at running back on the return for Washington. So here comes Washington and the starting offense with sophomore number 17, Max Thompson. The Lynx beat Washington 28-7 earlier this season and almost shut them out. They got a late touchdown, Washington did. So the Lynx had good fortunes against them last time, but like you said, whole new season.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, it's now jerseys. It's now, it's now positions. It no longer. All that stuff goes out the door in the playoffs.
In motion goes Tyus Hansen, 1st down, and they're going to give it to Johnson. And Johnson is tackled after a short play by Damian Shunke as Hunter Marceau is going to check out here.
And we know number 19, Tyus Hansen's had a pretty good year. As I don't have his stats, but you see him on KSFY or Kelloland or KDLT. You see the highlights, and he's in them. And so it looks like Jackson Hilton's going to mirror him all night.
Trips at the bottom of your screen. Josh Piper up top with Johnson once again in the backfield. Thompson Looking. Tipped. And it's intercepted. It's intercepted by Mooch Knaus. They say he got both feet in bounds, and the Lynx are going to get the ball plus side of the field.
How big has 26 been all year at that
Mark
corner?
Mooch Knaus.
At that corner position, he's just been a ball hawk. That's what they call him back there. The ball just finds him, and he finds the ball, and that's what just happens. Now, we talked about how aggressive the Lynx were offensively from the coaching staff. This is just turning into an unraveler all of a sudden in the first quarter for Washington.
Lots of game left, but we'll see. First down, it's a play fake from Tommy. Tommy's going deep. He wants Hilton, but he overthrew him incomplete. And Jackson Hilton just couldn't quite catch up to that one.
Well, here's the thing is what we watch, we don't know about Jackson Hilton's route there. But I can tell you right now, Tommy's thinking that he's going more straight line instead of cutting in the end zone. And so that's just getting both of them on the same page. And that connection can be huge tonight.
Absolutely. Skolton 2 of 5, 34 yards to start the game. The Lynx have ran the ball 9 times. Here is Tate Johnson. Cuts. Breaks a tackle briefly, pushes away a hand, and he's finally dragged down by Patrick Osborne. And another nice run, and they're going to move the sticks.
So that's another first down. It just wears on a team now. Look at this. Oh, no, they're going to huddle. I thought they're going to go no huddle because everybody walked up to the line.
Yeah.
I just love how aggressive this coaching staff's being. You saw on first down.
Yeah.
They're going for shots. They're passing the ball on first down and then running on second down. I love that because it makes those safeties have to stay high on that. Because you saw Jackson Hilton wide open in the end zone.
Yes, he was. And a lot of receivers have been wide open so far. First down handoff is to Johnson. Johnson slipped another tackle and was finally taken down. I believe it was number 53, Ryan Reschhoff. But that's going to be another first down for the Lynx, and Tate Johnson is not messing around tonight, folks.
They are putting the pedal down, aren't they? You just love to see this from this team. It's they know that it's their home field. They haven't had a lot of semifinal games on this field, and we know that, and they're taking full advantage of it in front of the home crowd.
1st and 10 from the 13. Jesse Steffel. And he's not going to get much, but he does get a few. And ran into a pile. And yeah, like you said, the Lynx have been able to get to the second level a few times, but those linebackers, man, those guys wrap up very well. They are good.
They're really good. But it's not, you're as a linebacking crew, you're only as good as your front four or your front three, whatever they bring. At some point, they're going to have to commit to the run as a defense, and that's going to pop that passing game wide open.
Keep an eye, like you said, on the spy, number 44. Pass to the left side is caught by Jackson Hilton, and he's getting pushed backwards here. But they are going to give him about 2 yards, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 from right around the 10-yard line.
That's a good play by the corner, number 2, Freddie Frederick. He's a senior, 5'9". He just tackled well. We know that Jackson Hilton can be slippery. Well, he wasn't slippery there. So 3rd down, like you said, in 6. And from the 9-yard line, they can pick up a first down before getting in the end zone.
And Frederick had a good game last time he was here at Brandon Valley as well in a loss to the Lynx. Carroll moves back, and now it's Jackson Hilton. And it looks like they're switching something up here.
It's okay, keep it.
3rd and 5. Play fake. Tommy. Throws, and it's caught. Touchdown, Peyton Carroll. Touchdown, Brandon Valley Lynx. The improv skills of Tommy Skolton could win him an Academy Award tonight.
Boy, that's just feeling the pass rush, isn't it? Not committing. He had a lane. You might have heard some of the fans because they're pretty loud tonight. And so what happened was that he was just patient.
Yep.
It was all about being patient, letting his receiver get open, and then he pinpointed that pass. Great throw.
Jory kicks it home, and the Lynx are now leading 14-0, just like that, and we are only 9 minutes into the game. This is exactly how we wanted to play it. And I was even going to mention in the pregame how important it is to get a first-half turnover and to kind of flip the field again, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, it is. And defensively, you got the turnover. You're winning the turnover battle. Right now, the coaching staff is, they are hands down, right now, out, and it's their job to outcoach the other sideline. That's their job. And hands down, hats off to them. I'm going to keep on saying it because they are drawing up some plays, and I love aggressive football. And we talked about in the pregame, stand to what you're good at.
Yep.
And guess what?
They're good at running
That's what
the
they're
football.
doing.
That's exactly right. And the Brandon Valley Moving Company up front has just been spectacular. We give a lot of credit to Tate Johnson and Jesse Steffel, but boy, they've been impressive as well. Jory Sorensen with a bomb that heads up into the end zone, and Washington will take over again at the 20.
And don't get complacent. It is the semifinals. Anything can happen, and you're up 14. You just have to keep on putting the pedal down. We talk about it all week. Continue to be aggressive defensively. They have a young quarterback. I know. I said don't focus on that, but sometimes a young quarterback will rattle a little bit when they're forced to put up big points. And maybe a blitz or two happening here. We'll see.
1st and 10 for Max Thompson. They're going to play fake here. And Thompson is going to go deep over the middle, and that one is incomplete, intended for Josh Piper, just kind of like the throw Tommy made to Jackson Hilton, just a little bit overthrown.
Well, and great coverage by number 7, Hunter Marceau. He's really come on in the second half of the season. The last 4 games, we've seen him get more and more playing time, and he's in the starting lineup now opposite of Jackson Hilton on the other side. You're looking at a really good secondary with Muchenhaus also in that secondary.
Michael Johnson up the gut, not much. Give him a pretty ginger spot, gain of about 3.5. That'll bring up a 3rd down as Dibdall got the tackle.
Now, one thing Washington's always been good at, they've always had really, really good offensive linemen. They put Division I offensive linemen in college. College is a lot. Mm-hmm. And so watch a screen pass here. They are athletic. Just stay true. Linebackers got to stay at home and watch for it.
3rd down and a long 6. In motion is Behrens. Thompson looking, pressure. He's in trouble, and he just gives up. He had no chance, and it was Pfeiffer on the sack.
Boy,
Check that, Dante Miller. Miller on the sack.
But everybody's going to look at, our right defensive end, why did he break containment? Well, the containment was broke, I get that. But at least the containment wasn't broke to the quarterback's passing side.
Right.
The right side, they made him force him to the left where it's a way harder throw. Great defensive play by that defensive line. Well, we don't know what the secondary was doing, but it must have been great coverage.
Bad punt. And on the return out of bounds is number 18, Carson Mashlin. Of course, he was 7 yards out of bounds, but still, good hands.
It was a great catch.
Yes, it was.
It was almost in the snow.
It was.
So we have a little bit of snow.
Lynx will take over from the 35 of Washington.
A little bit of snow on the side of the turf by the track.
Expecting some snow tomorrow in Minneapolis.
Good luck, Gophers.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Game.
It's going to be my first Gopher game, too. And then we got the Vikings Sunday night, too. So we got Bama and LSU. Johnson somehow stays on his feet, but he is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe even Thomas on the tackle, maybe even lose a yard. Nope, they're going to spot him right back at the line of scrimmage.
Don't see a lot of that from Johnson. He's usually getting at least 1 or 2. That's just a good defensive play by the Warriors. Now, offensively, now you got a 2nd and 10. Keep on going to the well. Keep on running the ball.
That's McCann in motion. Tate Johnson up the gut. Boy, there is just something about his quickness. When he hits that hole, he is already at full speed. And I think that's why it's hard to take him down, outside of the second level.
Quick RPO right now for the Lynx, 3rd and 2.
Here's the pitch. Does it work this time? I don't think it did. He's going to be short. About a yard.
Yeah, he's not going to gain anything there. A lot of so we're trying to hit him on the edges, but really a lot of our big yards are coming right up the middle. So our offensive line, that guard to center to guard, are really doing work in there. Just follow off their butt.
Yep.
And see what they got. They're going to stack the line. They're probably going to expect, as we're going to go into the second quarter, and the Lynx are going to let it go into the second quarter, but they're going to expect us to run the ball.
Yeah.
So what do? Offensively, this is where you make your money as a play caller.
Yep. It's the real question of what do you do? Do what you're best at with running the football, or do you want to try to catch them off guard? So we'll see what Garrow and the rest of the team dials up. More than extracurricular, what do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They are all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical high school budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they are more than extracurricular. They are extra important as well. This important message presented by the South Dakota High Schools Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
So stats after the first quarter, Tate Johnson already with 12 rushes for 80 yards, 6.7 yards per carry with 1 touchdown. The first touchdown on the board. Second touchdown came from Thomas Skolton from his arm. He is 4 for 7 for 46 yards. Very, very in control of the ball game. You like that from your quarterback.
And let's see if the Lynx can stay in control. 4th and 2 from the 27. They pitch it, and it's a pass. And it is incomplete, but there's a flag, and I think the Washington Warriors are going to get their hands caught in the cookie jar here with a pass interference penalty. That was tight.
That was just really, defensively to be there.
It's a great play by him.
It was a really good play by the defense. It didn't fool them, but what it did do is put them in an awkward situation, and usually get flags when there's an awkward situation on the football field. So, dialing up, hey, now they're going to have to respect that. Now the safeties even stay home more, and the corners don't play the run so much in run support. So.
And last week we saw that fake pitch work. That's the first time they've done it all year. They faked the pitch and they threw it, and they burned Rapid City Stevens like an iron. Here's Johnson. What do you think of that PI call? Good call? Right call?
You mean the last call?
Yeah.
They're just being aggressive. They're opening up the playbook. They're doing things now. What I've called it, I don't know. I don't have the playbook in front of me, but what I do like, it's showing the defense so many things that it's hard to defend against so many things.
2nd down and 5. Vegans and Carroll are there. Johnson leaps over for a short gain. I just more meant the call by the referee. Did you agree with the PI call? Did you think it was PI?
Yeah, he was all over him. We saw it. He was protecting the end zone, and that's what he needed to do. And, it was a short throw, so it's really hard for the receiver to come back to the ball. Well, sometimes you're going to get a play.
Yeah.
You're going to get a pass interference when that happens on a short ball.
When the wide receiver kind of runs into the player, and then they're taken by surprise because they're not watching the ball.
Right.
Yep, exactly. Jesse Steffel checks in. 3rd down and 2. And there's some confusion going on here. Some Lynx fans frustrated. Or, excuse me, well, I'm sure fans are as well, but coaches.
And that's okay. Get it right. The crucial part of this game is right now you're up 2 scores. Putting that 3-score distance is a really it almost in the second quarter in the first half, it takes them out of the run game. I'm talking about the Warriors' offense.
Right. Yeah.
Because they got to start putting points on the board. They're not getting much on offense. And so what that does is for our defense, it allows our defensive line to pin its ears back and just go.
Exactly. And the pass rush the last 2 weeks has been exceptional compared to the rest of the year. And the rest of the year it's actually been pretty darn good.
And I like timeouts that are called, and just like in the first drive, we had to blow a timeout and we scored 7 because we took a timeout, we got everything right. It's a good call.
Third down in.
This is 3rd and 2 again from the 6. They give it to Jesse Steffel. And he got it about an inch. So it's going to be 4th down. We'll see again what the Lynx want to do. Tate Johnson's coming back into the game. They are, like you said, putting the pedal to the metal here. They're not messing around. They feel very comfortable at the 5-yard line to
And
have Washington get the ball.
Even if you went for a field goal, it becomes a 3-score game. You go for the touchdown, it becomes a 3-score game. Very interesting call here by the coaching staff.
And Jory Sorensen has been very good this season on field goals. And this would virtually be an extra point. Play fake. End zone. Touchdown. Peyton Carroll, number 2. Touchdown, Brandon Valley Lynx. And I just said it, and you said it earlier, Ken. You talk about putting that pedal to the metal. I mean, they might strap on another motor here because they are playing it at a different level right now.
How you win championships is running the football and playing great defense. I know the scoreboard's going to say that Thomas Skolton has 2 touchdowns, but that's coming all off that run. They have to try to stop the run, and that's what they're doing defensively. That's opening up our passing game.
Johnson, 17 carries for 87 yards as Jory knocks it through. And like you said, Skolton 5 of 9, 2 touchdowns, 51 yards. But this has all been on the back of that front 5, at times front 7, and the running backs. Go ahead, Ken.
Well, it's been a really good team effort in the first quarter in a quarter. Quarter and a quarter.
Right.
And it's not even we're at 9:46 left in the first half. 21-0 Lynx over the Warriors. But you've seen special teams. We're on kickoff. We're kicking it in the end zone. We're just doing good things right now. And I know that's hard to sustain throughout a whole football game.
Yep.
But I love the way the Lynx are playing. And I love that we're sitting here being able to bring it to these folks that are at home that weren't able to make the game. But we got a big crowd here tonight.
Especially for the weather. And I did have a lot of people reaching out to me asking how do they listen to the game. You know, it's been a few years since they have. So for those of you that are watching, you know, around anywhere, Brandon alum, my family, and this will be a touchback. Parents are actually not watching. They're in Europe. So it is about 2:30 in the morning there. Some parents. Who cares? They're not listening.
And what kicking the ball in the end zone is a huge thing. People don't understand that it just doesn't allow the player to gain any yards. It doesn't allow the special teams to give up touchdowns. It's just It's a really good thing. And right now, all 3 phases of the game, the Lynx are playing at a high level.
Pins him back all the way to the 20, not the 25 like it is in the NFL. Pass to the outside is caught by Tyus Hansen. And he's going to get about a 6-yard, 7-yard gain there, right around there.
He's their go-to. You just have to blanket him, and it'll be interesting because they're trying to line him up now. They're trying with a mismatch, but now Jackson Hilton's on him at corner.
Knights leading Roosevelt after Roosevelt fails on a 4th down conversion. It's 10-0 at Howard Wood. Thompson throws. Good throw, and it's caught by Josh Piper. And that'll move the sticks. The first down, and it took almost 15 minutes of game time to get there for the Warriors.
Well, and I'm not saying the Warriors can't pick up first downs and yards, but defensively, when you have a 21-0 game, sometimes your players, your secondary, your linebackers will sit on their heels. They got to continue to play on their toes and be aggressive.
First down and 10 from the 38. Thompson over the middle, another strike, and it's caught, and it's Piper again as Jackson Hilton takes him down at right around the 42-yard line, and Washington is starting to mount a drive here.
Well, we're seeing where they're trying to attack the field. They're trying to attack it right in the middle between the middle linebacker and the safeties, and they're hitting it right now. They'll be Coach Christensen to see if he takes that middle linebacker and drops him a little bit deeper into coverage.
First and 10 from the 42. Thompson throws it out. Pass is complete to Hansen. Hansen dragging his defender until he's got another first down. It was Joel Colbeck that eventually came in. I think that was actually Parker Reed that made the tackle. No, they're going to give it to Colbeck. And now all of a sudden we got... All right, referee's just putting more time on the clock here because the clock kept running.
And so defensively, now it's on the coaching staff to draw up where they're trying to attack. They're trying to hit those little flats, okay? And so let's see if the corners play up a little more, take that away. Really have your middle linebacker drop deeper into coverage to get that gap away where they were trying to hit us for those two big first downs.
On first down, no chance for Michael Johnson. Parker Reed was in there. Damian Shunke was in there. Pack of links. And a loss of about a half a yard.
And they're going to, my guess is, if you were coaching the defense here, you're going to think they're going to try to get to 19 over the middle of the field or number 2 out of the slot receiver side on the right. And that's
Pass
where they
over
go.
The middle is caught. It is Tyus Hansen. And the Lynx are Washington's making it look easy on this drive.
It's all about adjustments. You just have to adjust to it. You got to get those linebackers to not think about the run here and really stay in their coverage.
Thompson, they're running the hurry up. Thompson eluding pressure, but not for long. There's Parker Reed. And number 79, Isaac Rodriguez. Loss of 3. Loss of 2. Whatever. They lost yards.
And so I catch myself looking at the hand signals over on the other side,
right.
the offense, because I've seen sometimes when they're going to the middle of the field. It doesn't look like it here. We'll see.
Second down and 12. They're going to go play fake here. They just dump it off, and it's caught by number 21. Well, they don't have a number 21 on the roster that I'm looking at.
Made by Jesse Steffel.
They don't even have a 21 on their roster. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Third down and 7 from the 11-yard line. Thompson out of the pistol formation with Michael Johnson in the backfield. They dump it off. And taken down is Tyus Hansen with a vicious tackle by Jesse Steffel. It'll be third down.
This is the next big play in this ball game with under 6 minutes to go in the first half. Big fourth down.
And I think this place is about to get pretty loud on fourth down here. I wish we could have a mic out there so you could hear it, but now Washington is going to think about this here. They will go for it. I would certainly assume on a 4th and 7. But
boy, my coaching. Sorry, folks. You kind of heard a pause from me there, but I'm really looking at their offensive coordinator and seeing what their hand signals, because all their plays are hand signaled in. They don't bring the quarterback back or running back, run it in. It's all hand signals, and I know our coaching staff may be picking up on some of those plays. Some of them are kind of easy to read. And so our Lynx TV sponsors, we'll go through them and headline them. Justin Oakland of Oakland Homes, Bill Thompson, your State Farm agent, Harry Buck with Hague Realtors, Alliance Communications, the First National Bank of Brandon, the Pizza Ranch of Brandon, the Brandon Community Foundation, the Brandon Valley Journal, Brandon Taco John's, Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce. I have to get loud here because the crowd's getting loud. The Brandon Valley Athletic Boosters Club, and Sioux Valley Energy.
4th down and 7. Max Thompson out of the shotgun. Here we go. Thompson, pressure, no shot again. And again, I think it was Dante Miller.
Big defensive play. It's such a luxury when when you don't have to blitz linebackers and your front 4 can beat the front 5 and get the sack. That's
Crazy.
2 sacks.
Yep.
And on those 4 plays, that's 2 sacks that brought them completely and changed the whole offense to defense to offense, and now your Lynx offense is back on the field.
By the way, touchdown for Roosevelt, and O'Gorman now leads 10-7. Not sure where they are time-wise. In the quarter, Johnson heads outside. Good-looking run, a gain of 25 yards for Johnson. And that puts him over 100 yards in the first half.
Boy, that hole was big, though. When he started, and those linebackers, they caught him. They caught him in a blitz there. You could see from the middle linebacker.
Yeah.
Middle linebacker blitzes to the left. He tries to hit probably that A gap on the left. They run it to they run it to our left, okay?
Yeah.
And we catch him. What a great play.
15 carries, $113 for Johnson, and he's still in there. And they give it to him again. This one is not going to be quite as sexy as he gets back maybe to the line of scrimmage. By the way, at halftime, we are going to have a gentleman by the name of Brad Green on the show. He spent some time with the Argus Leader and at I think it's called the Yankton Gazette down there, down south, and he writes, he's a contributor to the Pigskin Preview, very elite South Dakota high school football mind, so we'll just discuss with him some of the semifinal games going on and what he thinks about this Lynx team. And I'm very excited for it. He's a great guy. Johnson again, and now Washington's defense is really puffing out their chest, gain of about 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 7.
Well, you can see at least 9 Warrior defenders are within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. That offensive passing game has to flourish here. They're going to look for the pass, and they might bring a blitz. And almost, we haven't seen a lot in the last 3-4 games. That underneath screen that they used to do with Olthoff last year, and we tried it a couple times with Ty McCann.
Right.
Maybe that works here.
Skolton.
He's got him.
Going deep. Jackson Hilton, he's got it. And he is gone. Touchdown, Brandon Valley Lynx, Jackson Hilton. The ball was a tad underthrown by Tommy Football, but Jackson Hilton, the athlete that he is, goes up to get it and gives the Lynx a 4-touchdown lead.
Who cares about the first down? Just go to the well.
Exactly.
Go get the
It's like
points.
Happy Gilmore. It's so much easier than putting. I should try to put the ball in the hole in one shot every time.
Well,
Who
it's
cares?
really, really deflating on the other side of the ball. They don't get the 4th down. Big defensive stop by the Lynx. Puts the ball back in the hands, the defense for the Lynx, back in the hands of the offense, and the extra point's good, 28-0. And that Lynx offense is just running like a motor, aren't they?
Oh.
They're just running up and down the field. Go ahead.
Have I read one this quarter yet?
You have.
Okay, then I think I'm good.
I think so.
No, I'll read one now just in case.
All right, perfect.
Let me see here. Why do teenagers play high school sports? My reason why is a sense of purpose. My reason why is to inspire others. One reason student athletes seldom mention is to get an athletic scholarship. I already read that one. Nope, we're good.
Okay, perfect. We were just kidding.
We are.
So,
We're a
halftime, we'll bring
well-oiled
some more.
machine
That's
out here.
right. We don't usually bring that to you, but we're good.
Yeah.
But it is a luxury to have 2 home playoff games. I don't think we have had that for Lynx football on Lynx TV ever. Am I correct?
You are correct. The last time was with Chase Marceau Adam Bauer, Tony Tripp, and a bunch of others in 2013. Touchback. That's player for Washington. All he wants to do is return a kick.
Hey, special teams. I mean, the kicks have been great. The special teams kickoff team, the kickoff team, they've had to run down there and give them some exercise, but they don't have to do anything after that. Great kicking by number 81. And that's Sorensen, I believe, right? Am I correct?
I'm sorry, what number?
Yeah, Jory Sorensen,
Yes,
our kicker, number 81.
By the way, you can watch the Class 11 AAA Football Championship Friday, November 15th at 7 o'clock on South Dakota Public Broadcasting, presented by Dakota Bank and South Dakota Corn. On first down, Thompson was absolutely destroyed by Parker Reed. Oh, Parker Reed has been playing like a man possessed the last couple of games.
Number 44 has brought his A game to this game.
Oh, no doubt.
That whole defensive line is really playing well, but that defensive end, and we know he can do it as a sophomore last year. He had big playoff games. He's having a huge one tonight.
So Thompson, I think he's been sacked at least 3 times, might even be 4. I'm just going to hand it off here. Penalty marker's on the play, and he's not going to get far. If it's against Washington, I would assume the Lynx will decline it and go with a 3rd and 15.
The best thing that does, if it is on Washington, it stops the clock. It may allow. Now, the Lynx have 1 timeout remaining. Remember, they've taken 2 in this first half. They want the ball back.
Oh, yeah.
You want to keep on putting the pedal down and continue to be aggressive. We'll see what the call is.
And it's going to be an illegal shift. I thought they usually stopped the play before it, but they do decline the penalty, and it'll be 3rd and 15.
The key was stopping that clock there. You don't have the added timeouts. Now you have one in your pocket to stop the clock after
no, you
this
don't,
down.
because the Lynx just called one.
Oh, maybe not.
Nope, Lynx just took a timeout.
Now the duct tape is over my mouth because that didn't happen. So we got a ball game. You said that the O'Gorman Roosevelt game was 10-7.
Yep, and I'm checking an update right now. Stu Whitney's got my back from the Argus Leader here. That's the last update we've got.
Okay.
Except he did compliment the Lynx.
Good for him.
Matt Zimmer is here somewhere. My best friend. I talked to him twice, I think, in my life. I consider him probably one of my closest friends.
The Jackrabbits, they have a big game tomorrow also.
Yes.
Up in Brookings. They
2 top 15s.
Keep that winning streak going. They need to. They're sitting at the they're ranked number 3.
Yep.
Right now. Keep it going, Rabbits.
3rd down and 15. Thompson from the gun. Pressure. And that pass is going to be, I don't know if they're going to throw the flag for intentional grounding.
Well,
and that's a loss of down, because the ball, if you throw it and it doesn't get past the line of scrimmage, that's a penalty.
Well, the other thing it does is I said it just a minute ago.
Yep.
Stops the clock. 2:37 to go. Lynx will more than likely get great field position here. No timeouts, but very manageable with 2:37 to go in the first half. It is a 28-0 ball game as your Lynx are playing at a high level, hitting on all cylinders from offense to defense to special teams and the coaching staff. They are doing a great job of managing this game and keeping it aggressive, and you just got to love how this full team's playing right now.
Well, we talk about, we'll wait for this here. Nobody touch it. It's going to be right around the 46-yard line. We talk about, every year it seems like the Lynx flip a switch, and I thought it might have been in there during that Harrisburg game where they had the monstrous second half. Then they kind of came out a little sluggish against Rapid City Stevens. And then they just blast them the next week. And I really think maybe they were, I don't want to say the Lynx were holding back, but maybe they weren't opening up the playbook as much in some of these home games this year because they were kind of waiting for their time. But
we talked about that with Rapid City Stevens. We didn't think they opened up the full playbook, but we know last week it was wide open.
It was. And they just destroyed Rapid City Stevens. There was a penalty. I didn't quite catch it. Was it unsportsmanlike? No, just right now. Oh, apparently it hit a player's helmet for Washington, so the Lynx got a good spot.
Johnson on the carry.
And it's Johnson on the carry, and he's going to get about maybe a yard as we are nearing the 2-minute mark. No 2-minute warning here in high school football. They just keep on rolling.
So about 2 minutes to go. The Lynx staying true to what they do, running the ball. They may have to open it up here, get that passing game going.
And Skolton 6 of 10, 108. Skolton. He's going deep again. He wants Hilton again. And it's, oh, man, that was a great throw, but it just was, I don't know if it was knocked away or if Hilton just dropped it. I think somebody got a hand in there. But that was a beautiful throw by Tommy. Like you said, wind is pretty much dead.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if the coaching staff just tells him to go get 10 yards and get out of bounds, because he had that wide left side of, from his vantage point, the left side, wide open to go get 10 or more yards and get out of bounds.
Third and 9 from the 39. Skolton caught. McCann. And I think he got it.
It's going to be really close.
Very close.
The clock is still turning. No
Maybe.
Timeouts for the Lynx. They're going to hurry up.
It's about 2 feet short here.
Bring up a 4th down and 1 for the Lynx.
Be interesting to see if they play action here and go to Hilton again. It's going to be really interesting. He's going to get man coverage, but he does have a safety over the top.
Hilton coming in motion. See if the Lynx go deep here. Play fake. Tommy's going to run it. The spy didn't work this time. He gets out of bounds. And apparently he knows where the sticks are better than Kirk Cousins does.
Big play there by Thomas Skolton, and the unsung hero on that was Vegans.
Yep.
The tight end.
Yep.
He noticed that his quarterback was scrambling and running for the first down, so he went up and picked up a block, got out of that route that he was on, and big first down for the Lynx.
It was a little closer than I thought it was.
1st down and 10, Grand Valley.
It's just a 2-yard gain, but it gets the job done for Skolton from the 29-yard line. Now they're switching it up. They got trips out wide to the right of Skolton. Play action. And a strike is caught by Ciliuson. Ciliuson gets to the 10. The clock will stop with 43 seconds. This is just what the doctor ordered here for a drive like this. The clock will start. It has started, and they're going to spike it. So it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Smart play as they're managing the clock really, really well. Don't you agree, Kyle?
Mm-hmm. Especially with no timeouts.
Yeah, 39 seconds to go. They're going to get their receiving package back on. As Ciliuson and McCann that have played crucial. I know we've been saying Jackson Hilton a lot, but Ciliuson and McCann have played big in this series.
And it's Carroll in there as well with Hilton. Carroll's already got 2 touchdowns receiving today. He's going to throw it up there for Jackson Hilton, and this one was too tall, incomplete, even for Jackson. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 10 from the 11. They can get a first down without getting a touchdown. It would be very difficult to do so. 34 seconds to go. I think we all feel pretty comfortable with Jory Sorensen from 28, but the Lynx will try and push this one into the end zone.
So a big 3rd down again. We know it's 28-0. but every third down's big in the semifinals.
Lynx are on pace, for over 500 yards of total offense in this game. 3rd and 10. And Skolton is sacked.
Quarterback sack.
Big play.
They got to hurry up. They're going to try to get the field goal
bring
team
them on
on. The
They'll
clock's
have
going to
time.
turn.
They should have time.
Bring up a 4th down and long in to kick the field goal. Number 81, Jory Sorensen.
First down for Roosevelt, still trailing 10-7, but they are at their O'Gorman 36-yard line. They get it away. Jory. And he got it. Nice kick from 33 yards by Jory Sorensen at the buzzer. And at the half, the Lynx lead 31-0.
Wow.
Ken's going to give you our sponsors quick, maybe go through a couple of stats. I'm going to go grab Brad here quick, and we're going to have a football discussion.
Justin Oakland of Oakland Homes is the builder and developer of the lake at Aspen Harbor in the heart of Brandon. Coming soon will be great buildings, lots, and at the new Twin River Crossing development, that's where they'll be. Give Justin a call for details at 605-553-5311. Bill Thompson, your State Farm agent, is the person to talk to for all of your personal and business insurance needs. Bill is located at 312 South Split Rock Boulevard, or give him a call at 605-582-4343. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Give Harry Buck with Heg Realtors a call at 605-366-0221, or go to harrybuck.com for any and all of your real estate needs. Harry and the team at Heg love turning dreams into addresses. Just remember the 3 rules of real estate: location, location, Harry Buck. Alliance Communications is a leading internet, cable, and phone provider in the Brandon area. Alliance customers have 100% fiber to the home that puts them light years ahead of most homes throughout the country. Go Lynx. At the First National Bank of Brandon, their student checking account is perfect for those 25 and younger. It provides convenient access to tools like e-alerts and mobile banking while on the go. They are proud supporters of all things Brandon, like the new baseball complex, the First National Bank Field at Aspen Park. The Pizza Ranch of Brandon, they are proud supporters of the Brandon Valley activities and offer the finest pizza in town. Bring the family to their buffet before the game or order their delicious roasted chicken or pizza after the game. Give them a call at 582-6322, and they will deliver to your doorstep, tailgater, or wherever you are in town. The Brandon Community Foundation, they are a permanent charitable endowment that supports activities that improve the quality of life for all ages in Brandon and Valley Springs. For more information, go to their website at brandoncf.org. The Brandon Valley Journal, they are your local news source covering all 11 Brandon Valley sports every week with stories and photos. You can get all the news in print or online. If you haven't already subscribed today, do it today by calling 605-582-9999. Sign up for the Taco John's Rewards app on your phone for lots of deals and surprises. They have new and exciting products to choose from, and it's always made fresh just for you. The good folks at Taco John's, they want to thank you for your business. Go Lynx. The Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, they are a proud sponsor of Lynx TV. A strong local business community is vital for the positive growth of the Brandon Valley area. Remember, when you shop in Brandon, you support all things local. Go Lynx. The Brandon Valley Athletics Boosters Club. They are hardworking, dedicated supporters of all Brandon athletic programs, including Lynx TV. And Sioux Valley Energy. They are the electric supplier for much of the Brandon Valley area and a strong supporter of our community, including Lynx TV. They offer great service at reasonable rates. Go Lynx. Big difference in this game compared to last week for Washington. They haven't put any points on the board. The Lynx right now at halftime in the semifinal game, the bottom of the bracket, 31-0. Your Lynx over the Warriors. We'll get a score from the other semifinal game in 11 AAA between O'Gorman and Roosevelt. Roosevelt sitting at the 1 seed, and O'Gorman sitting at the 4 seed. The seeds are out the door. It's the Final Four. All 4 teams trying to punch their ticket into next week's finals game. Stats, right now, Tate Johnson, 18 rushes, 114 yards, a 6.3 average. He's got 1 touchdown. A lot of touchdowns have been coming through the air. As Thomas Skolton right now is 8 of 15. Very, very consistent. He's a tad over 50%, but he's completing some big balls in the game, and it's been really, really good for the passing game at 136 yards, and he's got 3 scores. Kicking game for special teams as they march off the field going into halftime with a big field goal to put it at 31-0. So we don't have some of your defensive stats as Parker Reed and that whole defense. Muchkin House has an interception also. Defensively, been playing really good football so far. We'll see how the second half goes, and I'm gonna hand it over to Kyle. He's got a special guest for us.
We have an elite high school football mind coming in here. His name is Brad Green. He's worked for the Argus. He's worked in Yankton. He helps out with the pigskin preview that everybody seems to be flocking over every single year. Brad, it's good to talk to you. We've done some broadcasting together, actually. We've done some football and done some basketball. I think we've even done some volleyball.
Yep.
Good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. It's fun to be out here. And I think the last time I was on this field, I was just telling somebody that I marched on this field about 20 years ago with the high school band for Washington High School. So, and then 23 years ago, saw Bill Clinton speak here when he was running for president again. So
That's right.
So it's cool to be back in Brandon, and it's a title game rematch, but it's kind of one-sided right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And were you expecting this coming into this game?
Not really. I mean, I watched Washington Lincoln last week, so I knew Washington was riding a high, and obviously with the title rematch, building and the Staten brothers coaching against the other, that was really cool. So, I think the Warriors came out a little flat. Hopefully they can recover, but obviously Thomas Schulten's just running the show. I mean, he's the best quarterback in the state by far, and he's fun to watch. And one of our pigskin preview cover kids this year is a state champ and a top college recruit. So it's fun to be out here.
So let's talk about, because I don't pay too much attention to AA, whatever, but let's start with AA. I think it's pretty obvious who is going to be playing in the state championship and probably going to win it. That's going to be the Pierre Governors, coming off a 103-0 victory over Spearfish.
I think they just scored another one, by the way.
Oh, really? Still? The game's still going on.
I think it's just starting. So I know Garrett Stout, their quarterback's a very good quarterback, running and passing the ball. McGuire Rasky is pretty stud running back and linebacker for him, and of course Gray Zabel, all world linemen heading to the Bison next year. So I mean,
wow.
Pierre is a very good team. There was talk of them playing up at AAA someday. Then I think they could very easily. So,
do you think that they could come into Brandon and beat a team like Brandon Valley? Do you think?
I don't know.
Do you think they're that good?
They're obviously the top dog in 11 AA, but I mean. AAA, is a bit of a different animal. I think the Lynx have, seen that the first couple years in it, but finally climbed the mountain last year. And, who knows? I mean, it's wide open. Harrisburg joined this year, and obviously, Jefferson High School and Sioux Falls will join in a couple of years. So, maybe if Pierre's ready, maybe they'll make the jump someday. I mean, O'Gorman's has petitioned up and is playing up, so you never know.
Yeah. What's going on? You're pretty familiar with A, B? What's going on in there?
Yeah, 11A. 11A is T is the defending champions, and they're playing tonight. I think Lennox is surprising in the Mitch. They beat Madison last week. West Central, is right there too. So I mean, traditional powers. So that one's wide open. I think 11B. Winner's always a favorite. McCook Central Montrose, Bridgewater Emory Ethan, who was 2-time runner-up to Sioux Falls Christian.
Sister-in-law's alma mater.
They're always in it. So it's wide open in a 9-man. Who knows? That's the fun of high school football in South Dakota.
Oh wow, that's crazy. So just a couple more here, quick, because we got one more special guest coming up. We are just full of celebrities here tonight. SDSU plays tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I'm heading up to Minneapolis, like I told you, to go to the Gopher game. Huge weekend of football. What do you think about the Penn State Gopher game?
It's going to be the most fun game in TCF Bank history in the last 10 years. I mean, they should have got game day, but it's hard to go against number 2 and number 3. But,
Right.
The atmosphere the PJ Flex built up there, the culture is just unbelievable, Kyle. I mean, you talked about the Jacks getting a game, the Coyotes down at Vermilion hosting Youngstown State with Bo Pelini. So, Augie, USF. I know USF's got Mankato, so that'll be a top 10 matchup.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a great time for South Dakota football.
Absolutely. And then final question, Vikings-Cowboys. Who you got?
I got the Vikes, but I look for the Cowboys kicker Brett Maher to nail a 68-yard field goal to set the NFL record.
Would shock me.
His dad is the superintendent of schools in Sioux Falls and got to know Brian the last couple of years. And Brett's just unbelievable. I mean, he makes it look so easy. And Jersey's in the Hall of Fame now, and I think the Vikes are playing well. If Cousins does his thing, Thielen's out, so Dalvin Cook's gonna be your money man. So it's gonna be a fun weekend all around, my man.
Let's hope Cousins is buzzing. All right. Sounds good. Good to see you, Brad,
You too,
as
brother.
always. And next, coming up here quick, we got a few more minutes beforehand here. Yeah, you want to say something, Jake?
Sure, I'll say something.
I got a couple of quick questions here.
All right, cool.
We got Jake Edwards up here, former Lynx great. Well, he's still a Lynx great, but
Hey.
what year did you graduate?
Graduated back in 2009.
2009, and a lot's changed since then with this Brandon Valley team. You guys never did get to a championship, but even now, and I talk about it too as an alum, what is it like just being able to see so much success, not only with football, but with basketball and baseball and girls basketball, and volleyball's been to a couple of championships. It's really, really fun to be able to come back and maybe not know all the players' names and stuff, but it's just fun to see them succeed still.
It's nothing. There's nothing better than coming back and seeing the Lynx programs excel the way they are, and especially, just coming back, you see this brand new artificial turf field, and you see these all these nice new updated facilities, and you're still seeing these programs pump out some good athletes like South Dakota State. I think we got one coming up this year.
Yep.
Or at least one anyway,
Yeah.
coming from BV this year, and it's a lot of fun to come back and see these guys trade some waves in the AAA division.
Yeah, absolutely. And AAA didn't even exist. I don't think it did with me.
Nope.
And I certainly don't think it did with you. But it's kind of fun to be able to rub elbows because I know we always used to get just fired up for a game against a Sioux Falls school because it didn't happen as often. And there was a couple of games with Austin Sumner where we took down some of those giants, and I mean that was just a huge deal. But now it's the tide's starting to turn. It hasn't turned all the way, but now some of these Sioux Falls schools are like, wow, like we beat Brandon Valley. That's pretty impressive. I mean, state champions last year, been there a couple different times. So we're starting to get into that what I call like the Power Five of O'Gorman, Washington, Roosevelt, Lincoln, and Brandon now. It's pretty cool.
Absolutely. And, to speak for the class when I graduated, class 2009, and a couple classes up and down below that, another thing is that, when I was up at South Dakota State, the real cool thing about that, so 6 of the other players, former teammates from Brandon, actually played up there at South Dakota State at one point. We had 7 total guys up there, and that was
Sumner, Douglas, Sawyer,
Castle,
Will Castle, yep.
Ryan Odie,
Yep.
Dale Moss, and I. And I was on the walk-on program.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure who all got playing time, but it was just awesome to be a part of a program that had so many successes from BV, and just coming back here and seeing BV continue on with the success tradition is a absolute pleasure.
All right, last question for you. SDSU, who do they play this weekend? I can't even remember. But it's top 15 team, but you think they got what it takes to, even though they lost already once to NDSU, you think they got what it takes to push it all the way to a national championship this year?
Absolutely.
Think they got the talent?
I think they do.
If Gibbs
And
comes back next year, too,
it's
that's going to be
always-
huge.
It always seems like the Bison are was always the big
alpha male.
hurdle. Is a big hurdle to go over in the program, but since they diversified the bracket a little bit, and
Right.
and the Jacks are able to get onto the other side of the bracket now, it gives us a lot better opportunity to get up to that semifinal or the finals without having to go through the Bison.
Right.
So
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, second half is about to begin here. Washington's getting on the field. Jake, I know I put you on the spot a little bit, and but I always like to rattle your cages a little bit. So
No, it's much appreciated.
yeah,
Kyle.
you're the first
Cool.
alumni to ever be up here for an interview. I've tried to get other players up here, and they just won't do
kidding.
it. But I didn't just call them out like I did with you. So maybe I have to start doing that. Like, hey, maybe you should come up here and check out the booth or whatever, and then just slap a microphone on them and be like, you got to talk now.
Absolutely. No, it was absolute pleasure. I'm happy I ran into you.
Yeah, absolutely. Always great to see you, my friend. So that's Jake Edwards, former Jackrabbit, former Lynx. And like we said, second half about to begin. Good to talk to Brad. Good to talk to Jake. It is 31-0 Brandon Valley. They racked up 249 total yards of offense. Ken's just getting back in here, getting settled. You know, I was expecting a thorough victory here, I think, from Brandon Valley, but I'm not sure I was quite expecting this.
Well, I talked to the guys before. I told the stat guys, I said, maybe, just maybe, that score last week was a little deceiving on the Washington side.
Maybe.
I know there was a rumor that Lincoln's quarterback went out in the first quarter, and I know he's really good, Tommy Thompson. And so I'm not saying that's why they got to this round. They won the ball game, but hats off to the Lynx. It doesn't matter how Washington got here. They are not giving up the home field, and that's the Lynx. They are playing well.
No doubt about it. They're going to add a little bit more time. And Roosevelt blocked a punt, and they line up for a 43-yard field goal. It was no good. So O'Gorman leading Roosevelt 10-7 at the half. It's shaping out to be a pretty interesting night, a couple weeks of AAA football here. My goodness.
That matchup is a good matchup over there on the top half of the bracket for 11 AAA. It's a really good matchup. O'Gorman's a pretty good team. They were kind of evening out. They were the 4th seed coming into the playoffs. Roosevelt obviously being number 1. Mm-hmm. But as we know, Lincoln was the number 2 seed last week.
Yep.
Got knocked off by the number 7 seed that's on the field tonight versus taking on the Lynx and the Warriors. Anything can happen. You don't know if the 4th seed's going to knock off the 1 seed, and we might have an O'Gorman Lynx championship game.
Be very fun. Bob Logan, the true voice of the Lynx. I just do a silly broadcast. He brings you what's going on during the game. He's a public addresser. He would like to say hi to Brandon, and I think everybody in our broadcast booth would like to say hi to Brandon Valley Athletic Hall of Fame members that are tuning in right now, especially Jack Lauer, Wayne Allen, and watching from heaven, Gordon Odie. So Gordon, Wayne, Jack, thank you very much for watching. We always appreciate it. Appreciate anybody who watches. Wayne Allen, the grandfather of Nick, Jesse, and Jordan Peterson, who are all very, very good athletes at Brandon Valley. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you said they added a little time as the Lynx and Warriors were late coming out of the locker room, so the refs did them a little bit of a favor, added some time on there. But as you start this second half, Kyle, sometimes you can't scoreboard. I shouldn't say sometimes all the time. You can't scoreboard watch. I don't care if you're up 31-0 or not, or you're down 7-0.
Right.
Okay. Don't scoreboard watch. Keep on playing football. Coaching staff also keep on playing or being aggressive. Make it out of reach. No football game. We're going to get the halftime score here.
Sioux Falls Roosevelt 7. That is a halftime score.
10-7.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. Just like Kyle said. So at all phases of the football game, keep on playing at a high level. Special teams, offensively, defensively, and your coaching staff, keep on coaching at a high level. We know what this team's all about, and they're showing it tonight, and let's get a good second half going.
Freddie Frederick and Michael Johnson deep. All Freddie Frederick wants is to return one stinking kick. And he doesn't get it again, and again, he does not like it. So
that's the way to start it off.
Yeah, this is getting close to Washington's last stand here. So Thompson and the rest of the offense will come out.
4 sacks already for the Lynx defense, and 2 of them have come from Brad Dibdahl. And
Braden Dibdahl, yep.
Oh, okay. And Parker Reed.
I think they actually gave him to Dante Miller.
Passes intended to Tyus Hansen from Thompson.
And a host of defenders for the Lynx with 2 tackles. So the whole defense is swarming. They're just trying to figure out, the statisticians over here, they're really trying to figure out who to give the tackle to, because everybody's in there, It's just they're swarming.
And there was a flag, ineligible man downfield, so that'll be a 5-yard penalty, and it'll repeat first down.
After the penalty, ball spotted at the 15-yard line. First down.
So first down from the 15 now. And now we're going to have a timeout for Washington. Close to the game. I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry. And I wanted to keep playing, but I graduated. And also, I was really, really unathletic. That's not in there, but it's true. No colleagues called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. A referee. That's actually true. I'm a baseball umpire. When I played high school sports, they're going to be so mad at me. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in South Dakota did. And now I'm enjoying the competition, camaraderie, bands, crowds, and all pageantry of high school sports all over again. Interested in becoming a high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process. And a handoff on first down.
You're out of wind, right?
I know. We're good, though.
Take a breath.
Maybe I should stop screwing around and actually just read the scripts like I'm supposed to instead of trying to be a smart aleck. But it's really, really fun to do it.
So Washington runs the ball there for a minimal gain. And it's going to be second down and 13 from the 17 for Washington. Lynx defense aided by a penalty of illegal formation from the Warriors.
Thompson over the middle, tipped and incomplete. Joe Colbeck got a hand on it. It was intended for Thompson. It'll be third down.
And so still the middle of the field's wide open. You know that they're going to that well. And so defensively either creep your safeties up a little bit, because they're like we talked about in the second quarter, they are trying to hit that pass between the middle linebacker, between his drop and the safety's drop, and they've hit it a couple times here in this ball game.
3rd and 13, pressure coming. They dump it off. It is caught. No gain. Tyus Hansen gets nothing again. Jesse Steffel in on the stop.
What a play by Jesse Steffel there, fighting off the blocker and making a great tackle by number 2. Punt formation for Washington already in this third quarter.
Flags. Check it out here. And it's going to be a false start penalty. Third penalty for Washington in this game. None for the Lynx.
Yeah, they are really shooting themselves in the foot right here with field position. The Lynx should get great field position off this punt.
Tate Johnson just about got in there for a punt block, but this one is going to stop at the 43-yard line. That's where the Lynx are going to start. So like you said, good field position again. The Lynx, I think, have started plus side of the field twice. They won't do it this time, but they're darn close.
And we'll see if the Lynx stay true to what they did in the first half. They passed a lot on first down.
Yep.
We'll see if that's the same here or they're just going to go back to the run.
Tate Johnson, big first half. Get those stats to you in a moment. Here it is, and he's trying to get outside, but he just can't. And, boy, he took a pretty late hit out of bounds there. No flags. He had him wrapped up. They were out of bounds. The whistle was blowing, and then he pulled him down. So pretty unnecessary to me, but it'll be 2nd and 9.
So right now, like Kyle said, we'll bring you the stats. 19 rushes, I believe, 115 yards. 6.1. Dropped his yard per carry down by about 0.2 there.
Long of 26 today. That coming in the second quarter. Skolton, pump fakes, going deep for Jackson Hilton. He's got it again. And Tommy Skolton has got his, third or fourth touchdown.
Pretty ball by Thomas Skolton, but the route was just as good as he sold the slant pattern.
Yes, he did.
Kind of a slant and go. That's what they call it from the wide receiver position, and that's what happened. He went for the slant, the corner bit on the slant, and Jackson Hilton turned it into a 9 route, which is a go route, and touchdown. Great throw.
It was an out and up? Okay.
Oh, it was an out and up. Thank you.
What would you know, guy who's read the playbook and knows literally everything about the team?
Thank
is literally
you.
wearing a uniform. No,
Anyways,
thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, the corner bit, and great route running by Jackson Hilton, and a great throw from our quarterback.
And he has just been a magician. It's either 3 or 4 touchdowns, I'm not sure. 9 of 16 for $192 for Tommy Skolton. We talked about it, about how, big-time players come in big, and like we talked about with Brad Green at halftime, if you weren't tuning in, he also said that Tommy was the best quarterback, he thought, in the state.
And
hard to argue.
I think it is 4 touchdowns. He's managing the game really well. The difference in yards for both offenses, the Lynx at 306 yards total offense, Washington with 62.
Yeah, that'll about do it. Sorensen, another touchback.
So
once again, Washington gets that to 20. Go ahead.
If the first half score didn't force Washington to throw all the time, 38-0 will in the third quarter. So I don't know if they're starting the third quarter on that other semifinal game or not, but we'll get that to you.
It has not started yet, no.
We'll get those scores to you as soon as we get them.
On first down, Thompson in trouble again, and down he goes again.
And
pick your poison on who you want.
Our stat guys they're going to pick a number because there was at least 5 defenders in on that sack tackle. They'll call it a sack.
Rodriguez was in there. I think Parker Reed was in there. Shocking. Parker Reed's been all over the place. 2nd and 10. They're going to hand it off to Johnson. That is Michael Johnson.
Michael Johnson on the carry, number 22.
And that'll give him a pretty generous spot. Bring up a 3rd and about 6.
So defensively, the coaching staff knows they're going to try to hit that over the middle of the field. They've been going to that well a lot. Let's see how they defend it.
Thompson, 8 of 12, 71 yards and an interception. He will throw on 3rd and 7. Outside, and it is incomplete, intended for Luke Behrens. Excellent defensive play by Joey Nemec.
Boy, great coverage. It's going to force a punt. It's 4th and 6 from the 24.
Johnson's coming again to try and block it. He just about got there again. Fair catch for Colbeck. And deja vu all over again. It's going to be darn near, right near the same yard line as the Lynx started their last drive.
That's true. As the offense for the Lynx comes back onto the field, remember, folks, through a little over 2 quarters, they've put up 306 yards already, 192 through the air, and the rushing attack has been tremendous also.
114 yards total for the Lynx running the ball, 192 passing. And Johnson, he's been more, I don't know how I want to say it. There's been some bigger chunk plays and some tough spots, where he's getting stopped at the line of scrimmage. But you got to give Washington credit. They're, like we said, pretty solid linebackers.
They are.
And when they get in those gaps, they're usually pretty successful.
And really, what's hurt them all night is the play action. I mean, they have come into this game trying to stop the run, and the passing attack from the Lynx offense has taken advantage of it.
Jesse Steffel in there now. He pushes, gets to right around the 49.
Steffel on the carry, number 2.
And it'll bring up a 3rd and 3.
Tackle made by number 54, Ben Bartling. Gain of 5 yards on that.
So Ciliuson checks out. So does Ty McCann. Jackson Hilton, 2 receiving touchdowns today. Opposite Freddie Frederick. Just going to hand it off here. Well, I think he's going to be short, but it's going to be very, very close. Jackson Hilton says first down.
That last effort by Steffel made the difference. You just keep on churning. And you're going to Gophers game tomorrow where there's a host of good running backs in that football game.
Oh, there's no question about that on both sides of the football, or both teams as well.
Right.
I'm so amped up for that. Somebody was ribbing me saying that's a long drive and really early to wake up and watch your team lose. It's more about the experience, man. We haven't had this. Skolton throws it. Nice throw. Caught by McCann for a first down at the 35. The Gophers, this is the biggest game for the Gophers. You can make an argument against Michigan in 2003. This is virtually the biggest game that they've played since their Rose Bowl in 1962. It's huge.
Well, and their defense is playing at a high level. But it's going to have to tomorrow, and I'm sure Mr. Fleck will have his team ready to go. But that Penn State team's a high-powered team.
Yes, they are. Both defenses very good. Should be a power football game. Speaking of power football, Tate Johnson. Not much on that one. 3:15's coming early, my friend.
It will.
It's worth it.
And the Lynx are going in your favor there, keeping that clock moving.
Yep. So far, so good for us, the Big Four, Lynx, Gophers, Jacks, and Vikings for this weekend. So far, so good in game number 1. And like you said, it has been a thorough game for the Lynx so far. 2nd and 8. Steffel violently running. And he fights past the 30. Got to give Washington student section credit. They have been loud and proud all game, no matter the score.
They have. They're still here.
Yep.
They're not giving up. That team over there is very proud. They have a lot of state championships under their belt. Really, Coach Stathem's really done wonders with that team, and it's just a rich history over there.
Yep. And they're not done. Obviously, it's not looking good for them in this game, but they're gonna bounce back. They're gonna regroup. They're gonna restock up, and they're gonna be trouble probably next year because they've got some talent. Speaking of talent, Tate Johnson inside the 10.
best part of that run, he stayed in bounds, and I hope he stayed in bounds. Well, I'll move the chains, but he did get pushed out of bounds at the end there. But boy, is both those running backs are really running violently, aren't they?
Very much so.
Spotted at the 8-yard line.
I don't know what made them so mad, for crying out loud, but they're running mad, and I like it.
But how about the coaching staff for the Lynx just continuing to just be, I know that we're running the ball, but that's what we're good at, and being aggressive. You saw that with Jackson Hilton on that big throw the last series. And so I just love what the coaching staff's doing.
22 carries, $137 for Tate Johnson. He's going to get more. And he is going to get one more touchdown. His second of the game. Touchdown, Brandon Valley Lynx. And we've hit the 40 mark. Lynx now leading it 44-0.
Fans are happy, and I hope you are at home also, or wherever you are. You can get it on your phone also at our Lynx YouTube page, Lynx TV YouTube page. This semifinals game has just been a joy so far through 2.5 quarters.
Sorensen, yes sir. And it is now 45-0, and the Lynx are officially pouring it on here.
They are. It's so great how we talk about, and we always talk about it every year, Kyle, you and I, is we kind of start a little slow in the beginning of the season. We ramp it up a notch about the second quarter of the season.
Yep.
Third quarter comes on, and we're really hitting on 3 cylinders, if you want to say it. But that fourth quarter, and I always say the fourth quarter of the season is the playoffs.
Yep.
We just hit it.
Yeah, we do.
And it is hats off to the coaching staff, athletic department, and these student athletes. It's just the program is running. I don't even know what to call it. It's just running like a machine.
Yep. A well-oiled machine, like Secretariat at Belmont.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's dead now, but
horse racing, right?
Yep.
Okay.
He's glue now.
All right.
I apologize. I don't need to be getting in trouble anymore.
Touchback again.
Yep, Fredericks.
Sorensen, Fredericks is not liking it.
No, he wants a shot, man.
And Sorensen is loving it. He is putting that ball in the end zone almost every time except for the first kickoff, but every other time's been great. And special teams are playing amazing tonight too.
Mm-hmm.
And you want them playing big-time football in the playoffs.
On first down is Michael Johnson. Flags. We'll check the flag here. Short gain.
On the carry, Michael Johnson. Penalty flag in the play.
Like Kyle said, there's going to be a flag on the play. Penalties so far.
And that's the Lynx' first penalty. It's going to go against Parker Reed.
That's going to be their first penalty of the ball game.
How about that?
5:18 to go in the third quarter. Washington with 3 penalties for 30 yards. So this reffing crew's really let these guys play.
Yeah, and you can make an argument that you talk about the 3 phases. On first down, it is Johnson. Talk about the 3 facets of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If those 3 are firing on all cylinders, you're going to be in good shape. But I think the next 2 elements behind offense, defense, and special teams are take, give, and penalties.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you win those battles, and you maybe don't have, out of those 5, if you can win 3 or 4 of those 5, there's a good chance you're going to win the game. And the Lynx are just sweeping them right now. There's no doubt about it.
A lot of people, they play fantasy football, and I know we don't play fantasy football in high school, but and I'll wait until this play is over to finish
Thompson
my thought.
Going for it all, and it is incomplete. And for whatever reason, Tyus Hansen just didn't even put his hands out.
So fantasy football is all about the skill positions, okay?
Yep.
But we talk about before in pregame who wins the battle up front. And the Lynx offensive line obviously has to be playing really well. But the defensive line, how good are they playing tonight?
Very good.
And you win football games with your front lines.
Aiden Caston trying to get this crowd fired back up, even though they're up 45-0. Thompson going to try and take off and run with it. Spins, and he got it. He gets the first down. Nice play by Thompson.
They're fighting.
Yep.
You know, Thompson's been sacked a lot tonight, and a lot of things haven't gone his way. But you got to like his fight. As 4:10 to go in the third quarter, the Lynx are up 45-0 in the semifinal game at the bottom of the bracket at 11 AAA. O'Gorman and Roosevelt are playing that game. It was 10-7. O'Gorman over Roosevelt at halftime.
Thompson! Down he goes! And they're going to get a penalty here on Aiden Lloyd for unsportsmanlike. So it'll be a first down. I don't know about that one, man.
Well, you're going to know from the coaching staff. People, watch Coach Garrow. He's in the gray. He doesn't like it, and I can tell you why he doesn't like it. You do not show from when you get a sack. You just walk off. You don't.
You high five your own players. Yep. You high five your players. You don't do anything to the other team. So you know what? I'm actually on your side. I changed my mind. You're right.
Yeah, Coach Garrow's 100% correct there.
O'Gorman just got an interception. In pretty nice we got a pass over the middle here. Let's finish that in a moment. It is caught. Mooch Knaus finally making the tackle. Nice throw by Thompson. Nice catch by Josh Piper. And it looks like O'Gorman, they got a interception. Their plus side of the field, Roosevelt's side of the field here.
So a big play over the middle. They're not getting much yards outside of the hashes on the football field,
nope.
But inside the hashes they're gaining big yards, and that comes from your safety play and your middle linebacker. And so to shore that up, I can tell you right now, O'Gorman or Roosevelt are going to look at this tape, and they're going to try to exploit us in the finals over the middle.
Play fake, Thompson, rolling, throwing, catching is number 19, Tyus Hansen. And this is going to be pretty close to a first down. And in fact, they're going to be about 2 yards short. I'm going to knock them down at about the 5-yard line. Be a 2nd and 2. Washington knocking on the door here, trying to get on the board here.
And personal fouls like that can gain chunks of yards, can give a little momentum to an offense, and that's what it's done here.
Johnson. Well, he certainly didn't get into the end zone. We'll see where they spot him down here. And they are going to give him a first down. Lemke on the tackle. Washington still in negative yardage running-wise. 14 carries for a net total of -9. Johnson. Is he in?
He is.
Yep. Touchdown Washington Warriors. Their first touchdown of the game makes it 45-7. Well, 6 extra points pending.
And the Lynx TV sponsors are as follows. Justin Oakland of Oakland Homes, Bill Thompson, your State Farm agent, Harry Buck with Hegg Realtors, Alliance Communications, the First National Bank of Brandon, the Pizza Ranch of Brandon, Brandon Community Foundation, the Brandon Valley Journal, Brandon Taco John's, the Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, the Brandon Valley Athletics Boosters Club, and Sioux Valley Energy. Thank you.
And a doink. It is no good. The kicker, I believe, is Luke Behrens. Extra point no good, 45-6, Brandon Valley.
And so a big penalty puts Washington in great field position, fouled from that penalty from a big pass. Puts them in great field position. They put points on the board. Still a 39-point ball game we have in this semifinal matchup as Tate Johnson has rushed for 145 yards, 2 touchdowns, And Thomas Skolton with 204 yards, 10 for 17, and I believe 4 touchdowns for him. The key is no turnovers. We have created one on our defensive side. Offensively, there hasn't been a turnover. And special teams has put this Lynx offense and defense in great field position all night.
Tate Johnson on the return here to the 20. And he's going to be down right at the 30-yard line. Again, though, he just pulls these 2-3 guys. Jaden Federal had him dead to rights at the 26, and he just falls ahead.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Your guy that's really your part of a lot of your heart of your offense. You know, you put him in kickoff returns, and he can. You know, sometimes remember Matt Vandenberg in kickoff returns. He was a really big, great wide receiver here.
Yep.
They had him on kickoff returns, and he could break them, and you know Tate will be able to too.
Pass is caught. Tommy Skolton to Sam Skolton, the younger brother, and it's going to be a first down. By the way, Roosevelt's defense did hold O'Gorman to a field goal, so it is now 13-7, early third quarter at Howard Wood.
What a ball game there!
Yeah.
But brother to brother there on that connection from the quarterback to wide receiver.
First touches of the game for Jordan Johnson, and they're going to be ones that he wants to forget because he was swarmed at the line of scrimmage.
He's a very good running back we talked about last week.
Yes, we did. Yep.
He was really good in the – I know that it doesn't translate a lot, but, you know, the 7th and 8th grade, he was really super good at that level. He's an up-and-comer, and he's a special ball player.
Unfortunately, there's just really no room for him. I mean,
Right.
You could have a three-headed monster if you wanted to, but when you got Jesse Steffel, when you got Tate Johnson, it's hard to find time for anybody else. Caught by Ciliuson. Clock will run. Under a minute to go now in this third quarter, which has been a very thorough game for Brandon Valley, as we said. Peyton Carroll checks in. Ty McCann out. Think the Lynx try and push it here?
Yeah, I mean, third down, I think you say it's just you want the clock to continue to run. You know, it's hard to put the ball in the air here.
Johnson's still in there. They're going to give it to Johnson, and he's going to get the first down. Johnson heads to the outside. Jordan Johnson is gone. Touchdown, Brandon Valley. You're right, Ken. He's got some talent.
He does. That cutback was really special. And remember, he's a sophomore, and he's going to be something for years to come. I'm telling you, he is a really good ball player.
That was some speed. My goodness, when he turned that corner, he was gone.
And you're right. They could have a three-headed monster if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to push the score to 51-6.
Extra point. Good.
And the kick is good.
And you got to love the Brandon sideline as when Jordan Johnson and that offensive line come off, it's all hugs. I mean, that's a big deal for a sophomore. And I don't know if there's some subs in for the offensive line, but that's a really big deal to score that touchdown from that. And the confidence just keeps on rolling.
Well, it's definitely his first touchdown here at home since we don't broadcast road games. He might have gotten one in one of those. But either way, good for him. I mean, that was not a that was very impressive. I don't even know what else to say. That was just a very, very impressive run by what you're making it sound like is a very impressive young man.
He is. So 52-6, 16 seconds to go. Still third quarter of this semifinal game. The bottom of the bracket, I always say, if you go to the South Dakota High Schools Athletics Association, the bottom of the bracket, Lynx and the Warriors.
Good news for Fred Frederick. He's going to get a return here, and it's a pretty decent-looking one out past the 30. And I guess you can see why he wanted a kick return so bad. But there is some laundry on the field, and it's not a sock. It is a flag.
So I
I think
believe
this one might be against Washington again.
I think you're right.
During the return, legal block in the back. Number 34 on the return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Sioux Falls, Washington.
So that decent return gets set back another 10 yards. And so the Lynx defense, you're going to see some subs coming in here.
And another flag.
Maybe he just dropped it.
I think he might have just dropped it. Okay. Good call. Thompson on first down, complete to Tyus Hansen.
Reception number 19.
Nice
Tyus
open
Hansen
field tackle.
From Max Thompson.
Josh.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Josh
Pickthorn.
Pickthorn. Yep.
So that's the end of the third quarter. Lynx 52-6. Boy, what a ball game they put through in these first 3 quarters of this ball game. They've gotten to actually sit some of their starters, and that's huge as we move into. I'm going to say it. We're going to the finals.
Well, I don't think there's ever been a 52-6 comeback. But you want to do sponsors here?
Yeah, well, go ahead with yours.
Leadership you can believe in. Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in South Dakota. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, and being a good role model. It's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports, they're so much more than just a game. This message is presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. And it's a handoff up the middle. Not much doing there. It'll bring up a third down. What do you think of that? I'm sorry.
Riley Pletton,
Yep.
senior, in for the tackle. They haven't skipped a beat
No.
with
they
this
haven't.
defensive line.
Third down and 9. Thompson fires. Picked off. Intercepted by Ethan House. House is near the 10-yard line.
Good for him. That senior. So a senior gets a big tackle from the defensive line, and a senior gets the interception. Big plays in this semifinal game. Look
how
at the
fun
Lynx.
is that?
Look at the Lynx players come out. You got to just love it. A lot of seniors coming out and hugging Ethan House. Big play. That's a joy to watch, I bet you, for parents.
New quarterback, new look overall for the Lynx. It's sophomore Carson Askdahl into the game. And I believe that's number 83, Damon Vischer, in there as well at fullback. As Jordan Johnson's not going to get much. Peyton Carroll's going to check into the game here. Number 66, Aiden Caston is in there. Number 43, Carter Van Heel into the game, as well as Carson Mashlin. He's going to be a wide receiver. Brady Giles. Brady Giles is checking in now for Peyton Carroll, number 85. I formation for Axtell. Johnson. And a short gain on that play. Number 76, Jackson.
Tackle made by number 4, Jaden Petro. Short gain on that play. Third down.
So it'll be third down here. And my apologies, it was actually Micah Stephanie, number 85, that was in the game. Still is, in fact. Johnson on third down, and he gets crunched.
George Johnson on the carry. Tackle made by number 33, Randolph Kapai.
Number 76, Jackson Mullet, is also into the game now.
Field goal team comes onto the field, and
Yep.
that's good because it's always good to work on that because you don't know in this next game if you're going to need it. Special teams have come up big in this ball game.
Nate Myers and Ulysses Larios were also in there on the offensive line for the Lynx. Jory hits the upright, no good.
That's twice. The extra point.
Same upright.
Yeah. So, we talk about special teams, and they can play big in playoffs, and I know they're going to give us a score update here.
Roosevelt 14, Sioux Falls O'Gorman 13.
So Roosevelt takes the lead with the touchdown. So they're up 14-13, a 1-point game over there.
The update from Buffalo, South Dakota.
Lake Trevier is into the game. Ryan Barker in for Brandon Valley. Ethan McManus. Chris Gascon also in there on first down. Here is a handoff to Johnson. Heads to the outside. They're trying to run him down. Can they? Yes, they can. It was Lake Trevier on the stop.
On the carry, number 22, Michael Johnson for the
Also into the game, Riley Plutton, number 56.
Lake Trevier, number 20 on the tackle.
And that's a big play for Washington as they get a big chunk of yards on the ground. You were talking about negative yards for that Washington rushing attack, and now they're at the positive of 56.
Max Johnson, Ryan Dahl in there. So good-looking run there for Johnson from the 22. Going to throw it out here, incomplete. Hunter Anderson, number 89, is also in for the Lynx.
For number 9, Josh Piper.
That will stop the clock also.
Yep.
With 8:52 to go, 52-6. And 14-13 that other ball game.
Yep. One was a little bit of a, no offense, a little bit of a clunker like this one was, and one of them has been a hard-fought battle. Of course, Washington fighting as hard as they can here. Pass to the outside is caught. And into the, well, it's going to be close, into the end zone. Touchdown. Josh Piper scores, and Washington scores again to make it 52-12.
The Washington faithful, they're still over there, the student section cheering loud.
Yep.
That puts 12 points on the board. They're looking for 13.
I got to say, I respect Washington students for none of them have left. They're still there. They're still fighting because it's not about like same with us when I was in high school. It's not about the score. Sometimes, we've got blowout losses, great victories and stuff. You stay to the end because they're not just a team. They're not just. It's not like the Vikings. They're your friends. They're your buddies. Anyway,
so 52-13, 14-13 on that other side of the bracket. Roosevelt took the lead over O'Gorman. I think there's about a little over 2 minutes to go in the third quarter over there. So our Lynx TV sponsors, Justin Oakland of Oakland Homes, Bill Thompson, your State Farm agent, Harry Buck with Heg Realtors, Alliance Communications, the First National Bank of Brandon, the Pizza Ranch of Brandon, the Brandon Community Foundation, the Brandon Valley Journal, Brandon Taco John's, the Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, the Brandon Valley Athletics Boosters Club, and Sioux Valley Energy. It's been a great football season, Kyle, as the Lynx sponsors that
we
are allowing us to broadcast these games and during the regular season and two in the playoffs have been tremendous. As we will take this to the basketball side of things here in a few weeks, as Kyle and I will bring you the boys basketball game, and two announcers will be bringing you the girls basketball game.
I believe it's, I'm not sure, I'm assuming it's going to be Todd Long and Chuck again, Chuck Sjogren, but we'll see.
coming off a big season last year, the girls basketball team and the boys basketball team. Boy, how can you beat last season?
No, I mean the girls were just dominant, and Mark Statham retiring. Congratulations to him again. Mike Zur, now the head coach of the girls basketball team. Brent Deckert still hanging around. On first down, it's Jordan Johnson, and he just stuck a Washington Warrior. Aaron Thomas on the tackle for Washington.
Johnson with we talked about Tate Johnson and Jesse Steffel running violently. Boy, this kid can too.
Yes, he can. Here he is again, trying to turn the corner. He's going to be a couple yards shy of a first down, I think. Into the game now at quarterback for the Lynx is Matt Brown.
On the tackle.
Sam Waidilla is in the game for the Lynx.
Third down and 1 for Grand Valley.
Matthew Brown's a sophomore, number 4, the quarterback. So you have a sophomore backfield right now in Johnson and Brown.
And I do believe he's going to be really close.
Johnson on the
They're going to give him the first down. So a first down for Brandon Valley. That'll stop the clock for now. Well, I think it's secret safe with us up here that they're just going to let the clock kind of run here.
Yeah, as they move the chains, clock's running, 7:15 to go in the semifinal game.
And we're going to have a false start penalty here. I forgot what I was just going to say. Darn it. It was a really good point, too. Like all mine are.
Thomas Skolton coming out of the ball game, 12 for 17, very, very good completion percentage, 227 yards. Look at the average at 13.4. He's taken some big shots, and he's completed them.
Yep.
4 touchdowns. Boy, what a game.
And that's just yards per attempt. That's on a handoff on first down. But you're talking like 18 yards of completion. I mean, that's outstanding.
Yeah, and receiving the one player. I mean, we've talked about him when he hit the end zone, but he has 4. Jackson Hilton, we're talking about 4 receptions, 141 yards, 4. 35.3 yards per catch, 2 touchdowns.
Oh, golly. Good day to be a Lynx. Jordan Johnson tries to turn the corner, and he goes out of bounds
Johnson, number 28 on the carry.
with 6:06 to go.
So total offense so far, 452 yards of offense, now 454, and 183 for the Warriors.
Wow.
Big difference.
Yes, sir. And a lot of that has come here in the fourth quarter.
That is true.
I don't know if they mentioned it when we mentioned the score last time, but it is the end of the third quarter at Howard Wood. Shout out to Stu Whitney for the score updates. Whoa! Johnson just got stuck by Jaden Fertile. That'll bring up a fourth down and another punting situation for the Lynx. Only their second, I believe, punt of the game. Both of them have been here in this fourth quarter.
I think so. It's time to work on it.
Yeah. Jory can always work on it. And this is a little bit of a line drive wobbler at the 25-yard line. Begans.
And they don't let Frederick get the ball again. He's pretty dangerous. We've seen him on a couple returns tonight. And they've kept it out of his hands for the most part.
So let's see what Washington decides to do. I'm sure they're just going to try and keep putting the pedal to the metal and try to keep scoring. We shall see. New quarterback in for
Quarterback in the game,
Washington,
number 12,
Noah Robertson.
for the Warriors.
And on first down, the handoff is to number 28, Blessing Tania. And that's a nice-looking run for Tania, his first touch of the game.
Carry number 28, Blessing Tana.
Levi Pfeiffer, first couple of
down.
snaps here for Brandon Valley.
42-yard line.
A lot of sophomores in the game for both teams. So you're seeing the future right now
Yep, good learning experience.
for both teams on the field.
Tania fumbles it, and I think the Lynx got it.
Fumble on the play.
Not sure who caused it, but it was Kobe Terpstra that recovers the fumble.
Fumble number 34, Kobe Terpstra.
So a couple of turnovers from this younger group of Lynx here. Did give up a couple of touchdowns, but always fun to see.
Offense comes back onto the field for the Lynx to try to put this one away for the Lynx. 52-13, 5:02 to go in this ball game.
And Askdahl is back in at quarterback. So I think they're just going to maybe alternate drives here. 5:02 to go. Askdahl is going to try and run with it here. Well, he's not going to try. He is actually going to run with it. But he's going to get very short yardage.
Axtell on the carry. Tackle made by number 33, Randolph.
And it was
Kapay.
tackled on the play by Randolph Capay, either brother or relative of Tupac, I'm sure. Tupac Capay.
He was a joy to watch, wasn't he?
Oh,
For a
he
few
was,
years.
well, not against us, but
No. Well, the last game it was. We
it was.
bottled him up.
Yeah, it was fun. Where did he end up going?
Morningside.
Okay.
Johnson on the carry.
Here's Johnson again, nothing doing. He's going to lose a few yards here.
Bartley.
See if Askdahl, they decide to dial up a pass here for Askdahl. Just I'm sorry, Ken, just a reminder, Friday, you can watch the 11 AAA Football Championship Friday. It's usually Saturday, but it's Friday, November 15th, 7 p.m., SDPB, sponsored by Dakota Bank and South Dakota Corn. And I work at third down here. Here's Johnson. Right up the gut. Still on his feet. Flag on the play. And he gets inside the 20-yard line. Powerful running.
He can hit the hole fast,
Yes,
and
he
when
can.
he hits it, boy, he is hard to bring down. And remember, that's a sophomore, folks. That's running the football.
Initial hit by number 42.
I work at the business that makes all the T-shirts for Pigskin and, like the championship shirts and all that. So we're going to have an extra job this weekend, or this
guess.
week. So it's going to be fun. I never complain about that. And usually I try to sneak one of the shirts for myself. And I usually get away with it.
So that's going to take away the yardage for Johnson on that
But it's-
big run.
yep.
It's going to be black in the back for the Lynx.
But since that is a spot foul, they still gives them a first down.
It does. Block in the back.
Block in the back. So first down from the 31. With 3:07 to go here. Give it to Johnson again. So nice when it goes from Tate Johnson to Jordan Johnson. You don't even really have to change your cadence or anything.
No gain on that play.
And
Second
Johnson
and
has 83 yards rushing already
Wow.
in this quarter.
49-yarder helps.
Right.
48-yarder, excuse me.
He would have went over 100 if it wasn't with that block in the back.
That's very
possibly.
true. Tate Johnson, 23 for a $145 today. Long of 26, so he was very methodical. Eating up yards on almost every handoff. Second down. Johnson. About a yard.
carry.
Kind of stinks when you finally get your opportunity to play running back.
And number
And everybody knows exactly what they're going to do. They're going to run the ball right up the gut. That kind of stinks for Johnson here, but
And he's still averaging 5.5 yards per
yes,
carry.
well, that's
Good for him.
Yeah, gotten bottled up a few times, but I mean, it's kind of like the days of Adrian Peterson with the Vikings. You can put 8 men in the box, sure, that's good, but if you break past that first line of defense, you're gone, and that's been the case here. Third down and little less than 10. They're just going to give it to Johnson, and waiting for him was number 21, Jacob Woolley.
Loss on that play, 4th down.
So as the clock winds down to 1:10, Kyle's going to give you a little more information.
Yes. We'll run this play, and then we'll get to it. But 4th down, assuming this will just be a run play. Yep, it's Johnson. He's going to be stopped, and Washington is going to come back on the field. It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare South Dakota's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, you better think again, buckaroo. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
So the Lynx are going to be victorious. And we got a score update from the other game.
Yep, 21-13 now, Roosevelt. So still a one-possession game, but it looks like Roosevelt might be kind of taking over there. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the last play of the game. For the second time in a row, as the crowd comes to its feet, the Brandon Valley Lynx are headed to the state championship game back-to-back for the first time since 1997 and 1998. Holy cow.
Boy, is it going to be a ball game. Kyle gave you the update on that score. Whoever comes from the top of the bracket, we won't know for a little while, but we do know, like Kyle said, who's coming from the bottom of the bracket. That's your Lynx. It's going to be at 7 p.m. next Friday.
Yep, and on South Dakota Public Broadcasting, sorry to interrupt you, but this is the information. South Dakota Public Broadcasting, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, on SDPB, sponsored by Dakota Bank and South Dakota Corn.
And it will be up in Brookings on the Jackrabbit Field, Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium.
Sweet.
And, hey, what can you say about this season so far? They got one game to go. You want to go undefeated in the season. They're 2-0.
That's right.
And they have one game to go to finish this one off and go back-to-back in the 11 AAA. And one thing, for the player of the game, we're not going to to me, Kyle, give it to the coaching staff again.
I agree.
The coaching staff just tremendous job this whole season leading up to this finals game. Hats off to them. And when you take a school that has half of the students, okay, that other sideline has in the school,
right,
and you're able to go to 2 finals in a row and try to go back-to-back in state champions in the highest level there is in football in this state and high school, you're doing something special. And there we are, that coaching staff, hats off to them, and the student-athletes, the athletic program, everything that has to do with Lynx football. Great job. Well, Kyle?
It has been an absolute pleasure to call games so far this year. We'll see you during basketball season. There's also a volleyball game tomorrow at 2:30. Going to get greedy here for 2 of them, and then I'm going to end it on a good note here. Go big, go blue, go Jacks. Roll the boat, Ski-U-Mah. Go Gophers. And most importantly, go big red.
All right. Well, for Kyle, this is Ken, and we'll be back with you for the basketball season. Go Lynx in the next game. Finish it off. Be 11 AAA champions.
Absolutely. Have a good night.